Hello, everyone. My name is Myriam Jessier. I notice there are no children in the room, which means that I can swear. I hope you're fine with that. So today we're going to be talking about ADHD. And there's a term I really like, which is neurospicy. It means that I'm a bit neurodivergent, not just a bit. I am, period. But it has less stigma, so that's why I wanted to start talking about being neurospicy. So like I said, bonjour. I am Myriam Jessier. I have spent more than 8 years in dev centers, more than 15 years being a technical marketer. It's that thing that should exist but doesn't exist that much, where you talk to developers, understanding why things are not going to work the way marketing wants to. Okay. Interesting field. I get paid to learn from other people's mistakes. So today's agenda, just kidding, it's not happening. We're not doing this, okay? This is Google auto-complete, auto-suggest going, hey, how can I make my ADHD happy? It's not a pet, you know, like, it's not gonna happen. So I was like, can we talk about something else? Because there's two sides to this debate. First side is, well, you are stuck for life. The second side is, oh, it's such a cute thing on TikTok to be ADHD. Neither are true. I'm fed up with this. That's why I'm here. So when you have ADHD, your brain is like a Ferrari, but you know, you have the engine that goes with bicycle brakes. I didn't come up with this. Like a doctor did. He is quoted down there. He wrote a book all about ADHD, but more and more we see this in the wild. So this is a tweet that spoke to me, which is my entire life I've been told, you just gotta focus a little. No, I have a tricycle for a frontal lobe that is pedaled by a duck that is possessed by Satan. I wish it could stop. It does not. However, there are some good sides to this, and that's what I want to talk about. It's not a cool aesthetic. So one of the things that I would like to reach out and say, hey, make it work for you. Some people have medication that helps them. Others choose not to for different reasons. And ADHD is pretty much like, yeah, you are always going to mess up some things. You're always going to miss things. We can't cure you, but here's meth legally prescribed for you. Is there another way? Well, there are, but first and foremost, let's acknowledge this. If this sounds a little bit like you may be in the right crowd. So I started a typical day with medieval memes, which led me to learn about plague doctor costumes, which led me to down another rabbit hole, the German tutu death. You can Google this. Wikipedia will answer any questions you have. And then I moved on to source set because I was all about image optimization that day. So of course the downsides of Gwetsley as a JPEG encoder popped up, and my friend ate an entire cauliflower. Is it possible to roast an entire cauliflower? Apparently you can with sel gris. That is French fancy salt. Why do we need this for the entire cauliflower? I don't know. I tried to figure it out. And then I learned that day that people with penises have an average of 11 erections per day. And before you get confused, there's always this like one guy in the room going, well, actually, I had more than a few one guys when I said this, okay? So, well, actually, I learned this is not true. So, if you have any questions about this, don't ask me. Your neighbor can answer them. Now, if this sounds a little bit like you, there's chances that you're like me. If that sounds a little bit like your colleague, chances are your colleague may be a little bit like me. Your brain just keeps coming up with more and more and more and more stuff. Because boredom is painful. If you're bored, that's painful. You're going to fight boredom. Hello. Okay, so concretely, come on, work for me. Meditation can help you. I know. Everyone has been told to meditate a little bit. I can't meditate a little bit. My brain will go, this is boring, can we move on? So you should know that if you want to make your ADHD work for you nonetheless, try meditation a little bit. It will help with impulsivity, executive function, focus, attention, emotional regulation, all of these things that we're not that great at. So I found the perfect meditation for you. We're going to do it for a minute, okay? So I hope the sound is connected. Let's see. Okay, I do have Wi-Fi. This is a very important meditation. Yes, I can. So imagine a soothing male voice. I know we're already off. The beach waves in the back. And this person is telling you that you need to breathe in air and breathe out bullshit, and that none of these bitches at work can get to you. It is a wonderful meditation. It lasts exactly 2 minutes. I was going to subject you to 1 minute. So now please, after this talk, check out this video. It is fantastic. Everyone always feels refreshed afterwards. But let's cut to the chase. What does having ADHD mean for me as a tech worker? First of all, maybe some of you got diagnosed a bit later on in life. Congratulations for making it this far before melting down. I did not. I mean, it was so obvious that even as a child, not being a little boy, somebody felt the need to talk to my mom. So I got diagnosed pretty quickly. And then I received no help. None whatsoever. So I found my way into the world, and I realized that I contain multitudes. I want to know, well, you don't have to tell me, I want you to know for yourself. Are you the type of ADHD person that is really good at planning ahead because you know that you are going to mess this up if you do it at the last minute, and you find all the ways that you will mess it up, so you're so anxious that you will start this 3 months in advance and not handle the thing you have to handle that day? That could be you. But you could also be the person that goes, well, I have made it this far at the last minute and I always pull off magic. So at that point, you have absolutely given up on any pretense of being a functioning member of society. And you're like, let me wing it. It'll be a little bit dirty, but it will work. And sometimes you're both. But you're never going to get quite in the middle like everyone else. Okay? You just have these two modes. So what do you do when you know this? Well, you should pick a career that, keeps you interested, it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you evolving, which, hello, the entire tech industry. Find a job that makes the best use of your unique brain wiring. Stop fighting or trying to catch up with everyone else. You have great possibilities, embracing what you already do naturally. You just have to find a way to have people pay you for the privilege of dealing with your ADHD, which is what I have done. Because every ADHD trait has a positive aspect. Except the one where I always lose my keys. That one I have not found an upside. I have tried to put taggers on my keys. It's not going to happen. I have embraced it. Now I have a smart door lock. The end. But we talk about these problems that we're supposed to meditate away. Impulsivity. I get it, but what if you tie impulsivity with experience? With knowledge? That's a whole different ballgame. And here's why. Because then you get really good at quick decision making when everyone else is paralyzed. And it means that in certain tech roles, like your problem solving skills being on steroids are super useful. So you can't have it both ways. Like I've had a lot of employers tell me, we love that about you, but could you also try to be like a little more like even? It's like, you want the skills, but not the brain white? No, it's both, or none. Or you can pay me as a consultant. That way you don't have to deal with it, and I don't have to deal with you. I just solve problems, and you pay me for it. But it also means that I'm super adaptive, and so are you. You can go from ideation to implementation in the blink of an eye. Of course, if you work at a bank or an insurance company, maybe this is not the skill they're looking for, okay? However, there are some companies that are like, hey, can you make it happen? Already done. Happy, we pay you. You fixed it. The end. So once again, this has an upside. There are some downsides if you have to fill out timesheets or if you have to make projections as to how long this is going to take. Maybe that's not your forte, and that's fine. Because ADHD helps me and you connect the dots in unconventional ways, but those are ways that make money. Those are things that other people didn't think about because their brain is not busy going, oh my goodness, can you roast an entire cauliflower? What about source set? Hey, can I encode my JPEGs properly? No, that's you and me. So what does it look like? I see somebody else is reacting to this. No documentation, no problem. Yes, there's a reason why so many of us are, in technical fields. Oh, you don't have documentations? You know what? My creative, valuable, unconventional dot connecting service is here for you. Because, yeah, I will find those quick but maybe a little dirty fixes, and that's worth gold. And then, you can pass this off to someone else that can actually make sure that this holds and is reinforced, okay? Because while this is a huge argument in favor of hiring ADHD people, there's nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. So make sure that you have a team that works with you going, yeah, that maybe little dirty fix, we like it, but we're gonna like rebuild, please. Like this cannot hold the entire company together. And hyperfocus is also a wonderful, wonderful asset. The problem with a hyperfocus situation is you don't know when it's going to hit you, and you don't know what you're going to be hyper-focused about, and you don't know how useful it's going to be. So it's kind of like saying, hey, I specialize in catching unicorns. I just don't know when, how, or where. And once you manage to actually harness this, though, you can get a lot of stuff done. Because if you're hyper-focusing, especially during incidents or bug triaging, like Julie Kang, another ADHD fellow person, says, well, once again, that's super valuable. Everyone is around you freaking out and you're in the zone. You know exactly what you gotta do. It's all moving like a symphony and there's just societal breakdown just happening all around you. But it doesn't matter because you're in the flow. Yes, well, people are still willing to pay for this. Once again, it's all about how you package it. If you're saying, hey, I don't know unicorns, pay me, that's not gonna work. If you're like, hey, this will really help you because I can do this during these tough situations, I'm made for it, works out well. And hyperfocus, people think that it's going to be wonderful and it helps you get 40 hours of work done in 4 hours. I'm not gonna lie, yes. Yes, there were many, many moments where this has saved my butt. However, we need to define it because it's super elusive, okay? It's amazing, but you don't know how to trigger it. So you can concentrate on a task, you can tune out distractions, and you can get things done. Like, it's so nice when your brain works that way. But you need to figure out how it works and find a position where people are like, actually, we would want you to learn all of this for us. We don't have the time, we don't have the desire. Be that person. Great. If you're a lead, fantastic. But once again, you need to really structure this. And for me, my main hyperfocus, the thing that kicks me in drive is solving problems. Ideally, though, other people's problems, not my own. That's not how, like, ADHD doesn't work on improving yourself. You want to fix the other person's problem because that's so much easier. Put yourself in a position, once again, where you get hired to fix other people's problems. That way, people enjoy you doing this instead of having to suffer through you. And the downside is, if you're hyper-focusing on something, there's no getting you back. Like, if somebody tries to interrupt you, you just feel utter rage that comes out of nowhere because you were in your happy place and then somebody decided to remove you from it, and that's not acceptable at all. So you need to communicate this with people. Like, hey, I may literally be telling you, sorry, I don't care. And it's not that I'm rude, it's that I'm focused on something else. Please let me focus. This will make you money. Okay? So, great. These are all the upsides, but there's still the issue of I crave novelty. If I'm bored, it's painful. It hurts. I can't do it. I mean, you could try to pay me to do it, and it would last a very little amount of time because no amount of money can get me to be bored on the long term, okay? I can't. So concretely, this means that I crave novelty. That means that I have to keep learning some stuff. If you put me in a position where I have to stay up to date for the well-being of the entire team in the project, I'm your person. I will always be up to date if, obviously, it's interesting to me. And this means I go down a lot of rabbit holes, and that is hard to control. So once again, figure out where you can go with that. Me, I have this inborn curiosity. It's kind of like a motor. So I know a lot about many, many topics. I know all about regular expressions. I know the thing nobody likes. I'm obsessed with search bar. Once again, the thing nobody likes. And ask me all about image compression. I know all about it. Once again, people don't really like this, but I do, so I get to monetize it. And having this natural curiosity means that you are able to synthesize a lot of different sources, okay? And this means that you can combine all of this and come up with something new. You have a brand new starting point in your perspective, in your career. And this is sourced by Forbes and my entire career. Like, I can tell you this works. Because once again, we get bored fast. So that means I'm hoping I'm not boring you, okay? Like, if you invest time with me, I'm hoping I'm living up to it. But it also translates well at work. I cannot write boring emails, okay? I will be a very dynamic trainer because if I'm bored, I'm in pain. I like my clients, but not enough to be in pain. And my brain burps make clients laugh. Like I will connect things and go, oh, this reminds me of this other tragic problem. And instead of crying, people are laughing. Good to go. Not every single client, once again, insurance companies do not like me. They tried. But this also means that if you're in a lead position, not an like expert in their own corner position, but someone that needs to deal with other humans working on a project and lead them, well, you're so used to figuring out the context. You're always hyper alert. This means that communications go smoother. You actually know how to connect with different people. And this is also very useful. And there are some tips and tricks to keep me on track. Stress and anxiety, that helps me get into hyperfocus. That doesn't mean that the deadline will always be respected, sadly. I wish my brain was scared of that. Don't ask me to make a list. Seriously, don't ask me to make a list. My brain does not care. I will overanalyze it, make a huge list with a lot of steps, and not fulfill any single one of them. So no lists. Because when we make a list, we see a lot more problems, actually. It's not just 3 items, okay? It's 15. So I created a user manual that I communicate to people who work with me. And this is something where you get to control the discourse on how your brain works. I adapt to my unique brain wiring so other people don't have to, okay? No meetings on Mondays or Fridays. I don't want to have the Sunday scaries. I don't want to leave stressed. Brain dump first, then I prioritize things. Don't send me long emails. Send me a 2-minute video of you explaining it so I can watch it in 2 speed. That will help. And finding solutions to your problems is what gives me dopamine. So, hi, there's a reason I'm a consultant. I explain that to people. And I explain that I will forget tea if they invite me in their office. Like, I will forget my tea everywhere. So, interrupt me just because I can go on and keep talking. Same maybe for you. I tell people. I love no-nonsense communication. Get to the point, directly. I will zone out if bored, even if I'm the one talking, okay? That's bad. I tell people this. I make them laugh, but they remember. I use loop headphones because this is a lot of noise outside. I can't focus. I'm trying to listen to everyone else's conversations. Repetitive music also helps. So I tell people, hey, I have ADHD playlists where I get started with work. Don't interrupt me because that's the playlist. That's how I get into it. And if you want to be a good ally because you're here for that one colleague you like but can't figure out, be patient. You may need to remind them of something you just asked them to do again and again. Because it's brand new, we keep forgetting. Format your slides, docs, and emails in a way that my brain can scan instead of going, oh, fuck that. Nope, I'm not reading this. If you find yourself copy-pasting stuff in ChatGPT and give me the summary, that person is not your ally. They're not helping you. Understand how we work because sometimes we feel like we're way too much. Positive reinforcements work very well with ADHD people. So a good high five, great, gets me on my way. And if something isn't right, you have to tell me because otherwise I will have a meltdown figuring out what it is and I will make it way worse than anything you could have ever said. So with this, let's recap before I forget. No lists, please. Hyperfocus is great when you need me to zero in onto problems, not necessarily documenting stuff. Be an ally. Format your communications accordingly. Out of sight, out of mind. Don't take for granted that I'll remember. Please send me an invite or write a post-it and put it on my wall or something because I need help. Positive feedback goes a long way. And that's about it. Made it on time. So if you want to work with me, you can take this wonderful picture. If you're wondering what I do, I do all the acronyms, SEO, CRO, GA4, anything that's technical marketing, but also explaining to the HR department how a neurodiverse team can be managed without blowing up. Thank you very much.